Some men were never meant to blend in. They walk through life like ghosts, watching, observing, but never truly belonging. No matter where they go, they always feel like outsiders looking in. That's the life of a sigma male. He doesn't reject society, he just doesn't fit in it. His mind operates differently, his heart beats on a quieter frequency, and his soul craves something deeper than the surface-level noise around him. While others chase attention, he chases purpose. While others seek validation, he seeks peace. But this difference, this rare clarity, becomes both his strength and his curse. Because the truth is, sigma males don't choose to stand apart. The world simply isn't built for men like them. Here's why sigma males never fit in anywhere. 1. They think too deeply in a shallow world. Most people want quick answers, fast entertainment, and easy comfort. But the sigma male's mind doesn't work that way. He sees meaning where others see memes. He questions everything: society, success, relationships, even himself. This constant depth makes him misunderstood. He can't sit comfortably in small talk or meaningless gossip, it drains him. When others laugh at nonsense, he's silently analyzing human nature. People label him too serious or too distant, but he's just wired differently. His brain runs on depth, not distraction. And in a world that fears silence and overvalues noise, deep thinkers are always treated like outcasts. That's the first reason sigma males don't fit in: they see too much, feel too deeply, and can't pretend not to. 2. They refuse to follow the herd. Society runs on conformity. Fit in, follow the script, and keep everyone comfortable. But sigma males? They were born allergic to control. They don't follow trends, social rules, or collective thinking. They don't join crowds, they observe them. And that independence threatens people. When everyone moves left, the sigma goes right, not to rebel, but because he genuinely doesn't see logic in blind obedience. He questions traditions, social expectations, even authority. Not out of arrogance, but out of self-respect. The problem? Most people see independence as rebellion. So they label the sigma as difficult, cold, or arrogant. But he doesn't care. Because while the herd moves in circles, the sigma walks in his own direction, alone, but free. 3. Their standards are too high for the average crowd. The sigma male doesn't do average. Not in relationships, not in work, not in life. He seeks authenticity and excellence, not perfection, but truth. He doesn't tolerate fake friends, manipulative behavior, or shallow connections. And because of that, his circle stays small, sometimes, almost empty. He'd rather have one genuine person than 100 superficial ones. He doesn't crave company, he craves connection. But here's the paradox: the higher your standards, the fewer people can meet them. So he ends up walking alone, not because he wants to, but because mediocrity feels worse than solitude. 4. They outgrow environments too quickly. Sigma males evolve fast. When others get comfortable, they get restless. They learn, grow, and adapt constantly, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. But this creates a strange pattern: every time they find a place or group they think they belong to, they soon outgrow it. What once felt exciting starts feeling limiting. He's not trying to be superior, he's just evolving beyond the space he's in. And every time he levels up, he leaves behind people who can't keep up: jobs, relationships, even entire lifestyles. This cycle of growth and detachment makes him feel like a traveler with no home. No matter where he goes, he never fully belongs, because his spirit doesn't settle, it expands. 5. They don't seek external validation. One of the main reasons sigma males never fit in is because they've stopped playing society's validation game. They don't need approval to feel valuable. When others chase clout, attention, or recognition, the sigma walks away from it. He knows validation is a leash: once you depend on it, you're owned by whoever gives it. He doesn't care who's watching, who's judging, or who's gossiping. His sense of worth comes from his own principles. That makes him untouchable, but also unrelatable. People who depend on validation can't understand someone who doesn't. And so, the sigma stands apart, admired by some, misunderstood by many, and truly known by almost no one. 6. They see through people instantly. Most people can be fooled by charm or status, but not the sigma male. He's too observant, too aware. He notices micro-expressions, tone changes, inconsistencies in words and actions. He's seen too much of human nature to be naive. He knows when someone's lying, pretending, manipulating, or seeking attention, often before that person even realizes it themselves. This ability to read people isn't a skill he learned, it's something life forced him to develop. Years of being used, misunderstood, or underestimated sharpen his perception. But this gift comes with a curse. Once you see through everyone, it's hard to connect with anyone. The sigma can't unsee falseness. He can't pretend to believe in masks. And that makes fitting in impossible. He's not judging others, he just sees the truth, and truth rarely fits into the crowd. 7. Their energy intimidates people. Even without trying, sigma males radiate a quiet intensity that unsettles people. It's not aggression, it's presence. He doesn't talk much, but when he does, people listen. He doesn't chase attention, but his stillness demands it. There's something about his controlled energy that makes others either admire him or feel threatened by him. This is because his confidence comes from within. He doesn't seek power over others, he simply owns himself. And in a world where most people fake confidence to survive, that authenticity is intimidating. People sense he can't be manipulated, can't be guilt-tripped, can't be controlled. And since the world runs on control, anyone who resists it becomes an outsider by default. That's why sigma males never fit in, their mere existence exposes the weakness in others. 8. They're too honest for comfort. The sigma male doesn't sugarcoat. He speaks truth, even when it burns. If he doesn't like something, he says it. If he doesn't agree, he doesn't pretend to. He's not rude, he's just allergic to fakeness. But honesty in today's world is dangerous. People claim to want the truth, but they only want comfort. When a sigma speaks, it often offends the comfortable and inspires the awake. He'd rather be disliked for being real than loved for being fake. But this brutal honesty pushes people away. They call him arrogant, negative, or too blunt. What they don't realize is that he's the only one courageous enough to say what everyone else is thinking. And that courage makes him stand alone. 9. They outthink everyone around them. A sigma male's brain never stops analyzing. He observes patterns, connects dots, and foresees consequences that others miss completely. In group discussions, he's usually silent, not because he has nothing to say, but because he's thinking 10 steps ahead. By the time others reach a conclusion, he's already dissected it, seen its flaws, and moved beyond it. This mental sharpness makes him hard to relate to. People mistake his silence for disinterest, but it's actually focus. They see him as distant, but he's just processing. The truth is, most social spaces move too slowly for his mind. So he withdraws, not out of pride, but because he can't slow his thoughts enough to blend in. He lives in a different frequency, where logic, strategy, and intuition merge. And that frequency doesn't exist in the average crowd. 10. They value peace over popularity. If there's one thing sigma males crave above all, it's peace. Not excitement, not fame, not validation, peace. He'll walk away from arguments, ghost fake friends, and disappear from social circles that drain his energy. Not because he's weak, but because his inner calm is more valuable than social approval. He doesn't need to prove his worth by staying in chaos. He's learned that solitude is better than forced connection, and silence is better than shallow talk. The problem is, society rewards noise. It rewards the loud, the visible, the dramatic. So when the sigma chooses peace over participation, he's labeled as antisocial, boring, or strange. But in truth, he's just evolved. He's reached a level where peace isn't optional, it's survival. And that's exactly why he never fits in, because most people are addicted to chaos, while he's addicted to calm. 11. They feel everything, but show nothing. The world thinks sigma males are emotionless, but the truth is the complete opposite. They feel everything: pain, loyalty, betrayal, beauty, chaos, but they process it internally. Years of being misunderstood taught them to keep their emotions guarded. They realized that not everyone deserves to know what's inside them, so they learned emotional discipline, the art of feeling deeply without letting it control them. He doesn't cry in public, but he remembers every word that hurt him. He doesn't beg for closure, but he learns from every betrayal. People think his calmness means he doesn't care. But that's his strength. He turns emotion into energy, not reaction. And because most people mistake silence for emptiness, they'll never see the emotional storms he hides behind that unreadable face. That's one reason Sigma males never fit in. They live in a world that glorifies drama, while they've mastered control. 12. They're loyal to the few who truly understand them. A Sigma male might know 100 people, but he'll trust only 1 or 2. He doesn't build connections based on convenience, but on authenticity. If you're in his circle, you've earned it. You've proven you understand his silence, respect his boundaries, and value his truth. For those few, he'll move mountains. But betray him once, and you'll never get a second chance. His loyalty is absolute, but it's rare, because genuine people are rare. Most relationships he encounters are transactional, shallow, or conditional. He doesn't play those games, so he often ends up walking alone. Yet he doesn't see that as a tragedy. For him, solitude with integrity is better than company without trust. And that's what separates him from the crowd. He chooses depth over attention, every single time. 13. They can't pretend to be someone they're not. Sigma males are brutally authentic. They refuse to fake personalities to fit in. They won't act happy when they're not, pretend to care about things they don't, or change their beliefs just to be accepted. This honesty makes them polarizing. Some admire their rawness, others can't stand it. But the Sigma can't live any other way. Pretending feels like suffocation. He'd rather be misunderstood for who he is than accepted for who he's not. And that level of authenticity comes with isolation. The world doesn't like men who refuse to wear masks, it likes those who play along. But the Sigma didn't come to play, he came to live. And if that means walking alone, so be it. 14. They don't chase, they attract, naturally. When it comes to social circles, relationships, or success, Sigma males never chase. They move with quiet confidence, focusing on themselves, their goals, their peace. And that's exactly what draws people toward them. Their detachment feels mysterious. Their calmness feels powerful. Their independence feels magnetic. But that magnetism also creates friction. People want to be near them, yet can't truly connect with them. Because while the Sigma attracts many, he allows few to stay. He doesn't chase approval or attention. He knows that what's meant for him will find him, and what isn't, doesn't deserve his energy. That mindset makes him stand out, but also stand alone. 15. They're always between worlds, never fully belonging to any. This is the deepest reason Sigma males never fit in. They live between worlds. They can talk to the powerful, but they don't crave power. They can connect with the humble, but they never fully stay grounded. They can adapt anywhere, but belong nowhere. Their personality is too balanced to be alpha, too self-reliant to be beta, too unique to be categorized. They move through life like observers, part of everything, yet tied to nothing. It's not loneliness, it's awareness. They see how temporary everything is: people, fame, success, love. And when you see life for what it truly is, fleeting, fragile, and unpredictable, fitting in stops mattering. That's when the Sigma realizes, he was never meant to belong to the world. The world was meant to belong to him. 16. They evolve beyond the system that raised them. From a young age, Sigma males realize they're different. They question what others accept. They notice contradictions, in school, work, religion, in relationships. The system wants obedience, they crave understanding. The world demands conformity, they hunger for truth. So they start detaching, mentally first, then emotionally. They stop believing that life has to be lived by society's script. The result? They evolve. While others measure success by status, the Sigma measures it by freedom. While others chase comfort, he chases growth. He doesn't reject the system out of rebellion, he outgrows it. He learns how it works, then steps outside of it entirely. And once you've seen the matrix from the outside, you can never go back in. That's why Sigma males never fit in. You can't belong to something you've already transcended. 17. They carry invisible battles inside. Behind every calm Sigma is a mind that's fought countless wars in silence. He's battled self-doubt, isolation, heartbreak, and existential questions that most people never even think about. He's walked through darkness alone, not because he wanted to, but because no one else could follow him there. That's what makes him so composed. His calm isn't natural, it's earned. His silence isn't weakness, it's recovery. He's learned to fight invisible battles without showing a single scar. But this resilience also distances him. Most people can't relate to that kind of strength. They want simple emotions, not silent wars. So while they see a quiet man who doesn't care, what they're really looking at is someone who's already survived more than they'll ever understand. 18. They don't need to be seen to feel valid. The modern world worships attention, followers, fame, exposure. But the Sigma male? He thrives in the shadows. He doesn't care about being recognized, praised, or celebrated. In fact, he's more dangerous when no one's watching. He doesn't perform for the crowd, he performs for himself. The Sigma's validation comes from mastery, mastering his craft, his body, his emotions, his peace. And because of that, he doesn't need visibility to feel valuable. He understands something few ever do: power doesn't come from being seen, it comes from being unreachable. That's why he never fits into society's spotlight culture. He's not built to perform, he's built to evolve. 19. They find beauty in solitude. To most people, solitude feels like punishment. To the Sigma, it feels like peace. It's in solitude that he thinks clearly, resets his energy, and reconnects with himself. He uses the quiet not as escape, but as reconstruction. In solitude, he creates, plans, heals, and observes. The world calls it isolation. He calls it freedom. Because solitude gives him what no crowd ever could: control over his time, his thoughts, and his emotions. He learns to enjoy his own company so much that even when surrounded by people, he never loses his inner stillness. That's why he walks alone, not because he can't connect, but because his peace isn't up for negotiation. 20. They were never meant to fit in, they were meant to stand apart. Here lies the truth most people never understand: Sigma males were never designed to blend in. They were built to observe, to evolve, to lead from the shadows. Every flaw society mocked, their silence, independence, and emotional distance, were actually weapons of survival. They're the thinkers, the builders, the quiet revolutionaries who change everything without asking for credit. They don't follow trends, they create movements. They don't belong to groups, groups form around them. So when the Sigma finally accepts that he'll never fit in, he stops trying. He turns his solitude into strength, his pain into purpose, and his silence into strategy. And that's when the world finally notices. The man who never fit in was never supposed to. He was designed to stand out. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel. Your support means a lot.